Alright, this is what I get for trying the multitask here. So, got a little bit of a late start, but we're letting everybody know that we are here. Alright, so how's everybody doing today? We are live once again on Twitch. Next week we might try a little bit something different, go with YouTube Live, but for right now we're here on Twitch. Tonight on the channel we are going to have some news and notes from gaming across the entire gaming world here. We have a little Domino. Great timing on that. He's sticking around in the background here. Little bugger's been attached to me the entire day, and so now he's back here and he's just going to hang out for a little bit. He's one of the reasons why I got a little bit of a late start. But tonight, we're going to be going over some news and notes from gaming from all across the world. We're also going to be talking about some behind-the-scenes stuff at HHG, including a new schedule that we're getting finalized here for what's going to be on the channel in the next few months. And then, as you can hear in the background, we got the Balatro music. I'm going to be doing a little bit of Balatro tonight because I've been starting to figure out how to play the game and the intricacies of being able to find Joker pairings and everything like that in deck building. So we're going to give that a shot tonight. But first and foremost, let's get into the gaming news here. So I just need to believe I should be able to just shrink here. Alright, and I'll actually get to that story last. So get back here, make sure everything's good. Alright. And one last adjustment here. See, we're live, pal. For those of you who don't know the whole story about whenever I say we're live, pal, so in wrestling, there's a lot of promos that you do behind the scenes. And so one of the most infamous ones was with Psycho Sid in the WWF. And he was trying to cut a promo on an opponent he was going against. I think it was Shawn Michaels at the time. And he flubbed up his lines. And he was like, let's start over again. One more time. And then Jim Ross basically went, we're live, pal. And then he continued on with the promo. And like Psycho Sid does, he was Psycho. And he crushed it. And he always was great on the mic. Except he was half the... I was half the man that he was, but he had half the brain that I did. Or some they said to Kevin Nash. But anyway. So let's get into the gaming news. So first and foremost, Magic the Gathering acknowledged their goof with the pre-release kits for Lorwyn Eclipse. Now, for those of you who may or may not know, for the pre-release at Lorwyn Eclipse, which was a huge success, a couple of things came out of it. One, Wizard of the Coast is no longer doing date-stamped cards for the promos. You're just basically getting a regular rare mythic from now on, which is unfortunate because a lot of people really did enjoy getting the stamped cards in their pre-release kits, so you could actually have a date. Oh, sorry about that. So you're able to have a commemorative of what was going on, which is, I wish they would do more of that. But you know what? It's Wizards. Of course, they're going to do change stuff, and then a lot of it's going to be unpopular. This was another one of those times. But the other thing that happened was that in the Lorwyn Eclipse pre-release kits, they did not include the Lorwyn Eclipse cards. Instead, TMNT cards were in there. Now, to Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro's credit, they used the Muppets that they got made for the Lorwyn Eclipse music video for Ballad of the Boggarts. They've been doing like little podcast snippets, and one of them was basically they allowed a creature from that universe to stuff the Lorwyn Eclipse cards into the pre-release kits. Great marketing idea on that, on their behalf. I can't say that too much about them these day and age, but it's a great idea. So what they're doing now is that for the TMNT pre-release coming up this coming weekend, they're making amends by making sure you get pre-release packs or promo packs and also cards from various other sets from Lorwyn Eclipse, Edge of Eternities, Tarkir, Dragonstorm, Duskmourn, House of Horror, or Bloomburrow. So that's a way for WotC to make amends to the stores, going like, hey, we flubbed up. We should have checked this out. This is what we're going to do. Which I think is actually a really cool idea that they were able to do that. And hopefully they'll continue to do stuff like this in the future. Unfortunately, though, it looks like TMNT... Hey, bud. It looks like TMNT is going to end up being a set that's going to be similar to Spider-Man. Where Spider-Man was basically a set that a lot of people were not too happy with. Because the mechanics and all, it wasn't really geared towards any type format. And they originally made it, for that one, it was supposed to be a smaller set. But then they made it a larger standard set. And that was the excuse for Spider-Man, is that they had a lot of... It was a last minute pivot to make a larger set, so they had to throw a bunch of stuff together. With TMNT, they had a lot more time, and even though the commander deck looks like it's going to be pretty good, the set itself has a lot to be desired. And there's a lot more legendaries in it, and even though I'm a fan of TMNT, I thought Shredder was a great villain. Having multiples of all these characters doesn't make sense to have in one set. Like if you had multiple sets going on for TMNT or for Spider-Man, and you see the evolution of the characters, I think that would be a great idea. But unfortunately, that's not how they're doing. Wizards are just throwing everything against the wall, and TMNT may end up being like Spider-Man. Now, on the plus side, TMNT does have some really good variants. I really do like the 8-bit, 16-bit versions of cards. Might be picking up a couple of those just because of the artwork on them. But there's really not anything in Commander in the main set that really thrills me for this one. So I think I might be sitting this one out like a lot of other people are going to be doing as well. But I give Wizards credit. They're trying to make amends for a flub up. So I got to give them credit for that. Next up, from Restoration Games, the newest set for Unmatched Stars and Stripes has been announced. So we're going to be doing Unmatched soon on our YouTube channel as part of our new schedule that we'll have, and I'll definitely be going into that in a little bit later on in the stream. But for this one, Restoration Games revealed Stars and Stripes, which will be coming out June 2026, so chances are I'll probably be picking this up at Gen Con if I'm able to go. This will add 4 fighters from American history. They are Wyatt Earp, John Henry, George Washington, and Rosie the Riveter. The new characters were part of a design contest for the game. Okay, so we got pretty cool characters on there. I really love that John Henry is a part of it. I've always really loved that story. There was I believe it was a Disney cartoon that portrayed it best. John Henry basically was one heck of a railroad worker, hammering spikes to make the railroads. And he went against a steam engine, and it was a very close race. And some say that he won that race, and I believe that 100% because he was a strong son of a gun. But it's just one of those great American stories that you hear between that. And of course, you have Wyatt Earp, George Washington without saying, and of course Rosie the Riveter, which a lot of people associate because during wartime, women had to go into the workforce way back in the day. And Rosie the Riveter was basically one that was a symbol of the strength of women going into the workforce and just being badasses. Like the men were going over to war, the women were definitely picking up what they needed to do, and they continue to kick butt to this very day. But it's a 2 to 4 player game. It's a standalone set, $45. It's not bad. Unmatched is a great game. It's a really good 1v1, but I think my wife and I agree that multiplayer, it's really where it shines because you have a lot of chaos that can go on in that. Plus you have the cooperative games as well. You have TMNT and you have Tales to Amaze, and hopefully we'll get some more of that later on. But that set will be coming out in June. Next up, Z-Man Games has acquired Sheriff of Nottingham, a classic bluffing game from CMON. They're going to be going into a new edition for it for Z-Man Games. And this is also another thing that CMON has been letting go as they're starting to unload their IPs to other companies. So who knows what's going to happen with that later on down the line. Sheriff of Nottingham will be joining Z-Man Games catalog, where it sit alongside other popular titles such as Love Letter, Carcassonne, and Pandemic, which is one of our favorite titles here in the studio. Simon last published the edition back in 2019, and it's going to be cool to see new updated artwork for a lot of the characters, especially for the sheriff, and see how big of a standee they can do with that guy. So I'm really excited to see what they do with it. I've always been a fan of Sheriff of Nottingham. If I ever have a chance to sit down and play it with a good number of people, I'm always there for it. Next up, as we go up here, this was a big one. So Pokemon Company International has acquired Excel Brands. So basically, Pokemon TCG is now going into the distribution business. This is going to be a major hit, in my opinion, towards a lot of the scalpers in the realm of collectible card games. So Pokemon's always been this big thing where scalpers will get a hold of product. I've seen this firsthand. Go to a Walmart and you see people just grabbing as much product as they can, loading it into the carts, going to checkout, and then you know it's going to be up on Amazon or another private seller within just a few short hours, and it's going to be triple and quadruple the price, which for those of you who do that, I know you want to make a living, and I understand that, but the game, it's a game first and foremost. If you want to collect it, cool. If you want to try to resell it, that's your thing. But keep it reasonable, for heaven's sakes. Don't try to outprice it to where kids can't get a hold of the product, or players can't get a hold of the product. That actually hurts it more than anything else, in my opinion. But I think now that with Pokemon now having their own distribution line, and it's currently the largest U.S. distributor of Pokemon TCG, I think that they can actually turn it around to where if they produce a lot more product, get the product out on the shelves, then scalpers are going to be hurting a whole lot, because there won't be a scarcity of product for newer sets. There'll actually be product out there enough for everybody, and I would really love to see that. And hopefully they'll be able to do that at some point. But this was big news for them, and Pokemon scalpers better beware, because they may have a lot more product than they could sell at some point down the line. But we'll see what happens with that. But I'm real excited to see what happens. Alright, next up we're going to talk about a couple of Kickstarters. So first off, Elecan TCG Masters of Kinbrold. So this is a game that I came across, and I actually was able to get in contact with the company, and they're going to send us some stuff here, and we're going to be doing a demo for it on the channel and go over it. And just from the basics of the game, you're starting out with 500 life points, and you're going to have shields that'll be able to help protect your life points. You'll be playing creatures, you'll be setting counters, basically as like traps almost, and you'll be using enchantments and everything, and using the 4 resources, which is earth, fire, wind, and I believe water is the 4th one. I will double check, and when we do, we'll make sure to get everything going here. But with this campaign, let me just go over here. Kinbrold is a world divided into 4 district kingdoms, each specializing in a different elemental force. At the heart of Kinbrold lies a 5th kingdom, devoid of any natural elemental powers or prowess. Evermere. The craftsmen of Evermere forge elemental essence from across the land into powerful cards called Elecans. This is where you're from, adventurer. Begin your journey as a rising elementalist by mastering each kingdom, defeating opponents, and climbing the ranks. Now, and the artwork looks pretty decent on this one so far, and I do love the layout of the cards. And each of the cards will generate basically essence that you'll be able to build up. So it's a different type of resource that you'll be able to use. Also on the characters, you have different power and you have their agility. And we'll go more into the gameplay once we get the starters here and everything, which I want to thank them for sending us this product so we can actually review it on the channel. And I can't wait to try it, because I'm always interested in trying brand new TCGs. And I want to thank them for reaching out to us. But they have a Kickstarter out now. You're able to get the full tutorial. Oh, actually, one more thing. I know I'm jumping around a little bit. So each card has a QR code. And I think this is a really ingenious idea that I'm surprised no other company has done so far. Because you had Keymasters, where with that game you were able to scan codes and all to make sure you track your deck and everything. With this one, you're scanning a QR code and you get to see what cards interact best with the card you're scanning, but also a little bit of a background behind it. And I think that was a marvelous idea on their part. And I'm really intrigued to see how that actually will come up and how we're able to do that once we get the cards in. So that's actually a really great idea. Really gives you a lot more in-depth playthrough and in-depth on the cards. And I think it's definitely something worth checking out. So if you're looking for a trading card game that won't break the bank and you want to get it on the ground level of a brand new game, definitely check this one out. We'll have the video up soon. The Kickstarter is online right now. 23 days to go. Hopefully once we get the starters in, we'll get the rules down pat, do a playthrough, and get that in before the Kickstarter is over. If not, we'll definitely have a review for you because it does look like a whole lot of fun. I can't wait to get on the table. And it will also be a part of a new series we're going to do here very soon. Finally, the other Kickstarter that's getting ready to come up soon is One Piece Dawn of Liberation, which is from Kesco and Toei Animation. This one, we were able to see just a little sneak peek of it at Gen Con. We couldn't say anything before until they released it. And hopefully we are able to get a copy of this. I would love to get a copy of this and be able to have it on the channel. And just from what we've seen, it looks fantastic. They're doing like brand new artwork to everything. They're getting a lot of great minds involved with this game. And just the layout of it, it's like worker placement. It's you're basically trying to go through a lot of the stories in One Piece and everything, and it definitely looks to be one of those games where it can end up being one of the bigger ones of 2026. And I want them to, I hope it's a great successful campaign. And like I said, if we're able to get a hold of it some way, somehow, whether it be they give us a shot to be able to review it, which hopefully they will. If not, we'll definitely back it because I think this is one we would love to have in our collection either way. And I think it's going to be a great addition to any player's library who loves One Piece, loves anime, loves big campaign games, loves worker placement and all. I think this is definitely going to be one of those that we'll be talking about for a while. And then, of course, last but not least, got to talk about Gen Con. Gen Con badges are already up and purchasable right now. And they've already had the hotel lottery. This happened yesterday. And from what I heard, it's already been sold out. So there's probably going to be hotels that will be available not outside or just outside of Indy, which would be still a couple $100 a night. But if you're going to Indianapolis, Indiana, you're going to Gen Con, definitely track them down, check it out, and get you a hotel. If you're not going to be able to go as far as purchasing a ticket and getting the hotel, don't forget there are still plenty of companies that would love to have volunteers to help them out. That's how I'm going to try and go this year. This year, myself, along with Crystal and Chloe, are volunteering for True Dungeon. Once we get the go-ahead on that, we'll let you know that if we're going to be there or not. And if not, I'll still find a way to get Gen Con at some point, either buy a badge or maybe just do a day or something. But more information on that will come up later on down the line. But that is all for the gaming news that I have here. Let me actually just expand here. Not that one. And by the way, if you're in the chat right now, make sure you say hi. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, by all means, please let us know. And I'll be more than glad to answer them while I'm playing Balatro in just a little bit. Now, on to House Hedge Gaming news. So, first and foremost, we had a little bit of a delay last week for our Dice Throne tournament filming. We had a few things come up, and so now we're going to be working on that this week. So you'll be seeing those videos. Should be about March, like second weekend of March, I do believe. Let me grab my phone here. I'm trying to do a lot of stuff one-handed because, as you can see, I got a little bugger still. He's not moving at all. So I'm just trying to do everything one-handed here. Alright, so expect the first Dice Throne tournament videos to be on March 13th. After that, you're just going to be basically seeing a lot of dice thrown for a while, so we can go through the tournament, show you as many of the matches as we can. The matches shouldn't take no more than about 20-30 minutes a match, and we're just going to have fun with it, and hopefully all of you will have fun with it as well. We're going to be doing some intros. Cindy is going to be working on a lot of thumbnails for all the different matches that we'll have, and she's going to do a fantastic job with it, and she's a lot more technologically savvy than I am. Lord knows you see that every week on here. And we're just going to have fun with the tournament itself to crown a first ever House Hedge Gaming tabletop champion. Then after that, we're going to be doing a little bit of a series of smaller games and how to plays, because Cindy and Hannie will be going to England at the end of May. And they are going to be taking with them a few small compactable games they can pack in their luggage, take with them to play with friends while they're across the pond. So since I won't be there to do the demos for them, I'm going to do demos for them ahead of time. So then all I have to do is bring up the videos on the YouTube channel, watch them over there, and be ready to play. So in April, once the Dice Throne tournament's over, you're going to be seeing a lot of that come up. So there should be 3 or 4 videos that will be featuring a lot of smaller games that you'll be able to play, take with you on the road, and have a great time with. And these are games that Cindy and them will be playing over in England. Finally, we have a schedule that we'll be releasing, and I'll be posting it very shortly on the YouTube channel starting in May. So been thinking about how we can do a certain different series of videos instead of just doing like, okay, it's a review or a unboxing, just randomness. I wanted to try to have a little bit of form, a set schedule for everything. So what we're going to do the first Friday of each month is, of course, it's going to be either an unboxing, a review video, it could be a playthrough, anything like that. But then the next few Fridays is where it's going to be different. So the second Friday a month is going to be called TCG Tussle. So, and that's a working title. If we find a better title, we'll do that one. But with that, it's basically taking a card game, and it could be something brand new. It could be a game that no longer is around, but I have the cards here, things of that nature, and we'll play some games for it and be able to show different variations of the games. Now, it could be anything from Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duels for Battle City, could be Nostalgics, could be Soul Masters, it would be Elican, like we mentioned before, Magic the Gathering, of course, things of that nature. So the second Friday of each month will be trading card games. The third Friday of the month will be Date Night Demolition. So that's where Cindy and I will be playing 2-player games, but also they can be games that have multiple players to them, but they are also very well designed for a 1v1 situation. So you and your partner can just have fun playing a board game 1v1, and then if other people join in later on down the line, like a game like Pandemic or something, hey, they got you covered. But we're going to try and do as many like 1v1 games as we can. But we'll also be doing some multiplayer games as well that are great for 1v1, whether it be competitive or cooperative. And then finally, at the end of the month, there'll be 2 different videos you'll be getting. One is a championship match, which will be a title defense against whoever the champion may be after the Dice Throne tournament. And then finally, there's one that we had somebody request, and I'm looking forward to doing this one. It's going to be a little bit more of a, not a serious tone, but like a little bit of an in-depth, and that is the card graveyard. This is where we're going to be looking at games that are no longer around, and we're going to have a look of what happened with the games, what their high points were, low points were, and the reason why they're no longer around. And I'm looking forward to being able to do something like that. I think it's been really cool to look up a lot of information about past card games. And the first one we're doing, as I mentioned before, will be W/WF Raw Deal. That's a game that I've always had fun with when I was playing it. It's a game that I wish it wouldn't have ended. I think it would have had more than enough steam behind it to where if certain things didn't happen, we could have seen that game continue this very day. But we'll go into that in our first episode of the Card Graveyard. And it's going to be a limited series of 4 episodes to start, and we'll see how it goes from there. As a matter of fact, yes, I do love Joker. How could you tell? So real quick on that. So I've always been a fan of villains, whether it be for DC Comics, the Batman Rogues Gallery. I grew up watching Adam West Batman when it was on like Nick at Night and stuff like that, and I always enjoyed Cesar Romero as the Joker, and then from that point, Mark Hamill, who will always be the voice of Joker. Heath Ledger did an amazing job as the Clown Prince of Crime, as an anarchist. I really did enjoy the way he did that character, and unfortunately, he left us way too soon. I think we'd have a different DCU if he would still remain as Joker. Yeah. Also, you're good at reading people, but also like, yeah, I do have a decent amount back there. The airbrush one is one that Cindy got me a while back, which was pretty cool. I really do enjoy that one, and also Bowser. I've always been a huge fan of Mario. I got that from my dad. My dad loved playing the Super Mario Brothers, and Bowser was a character I really gravitated towards. But yeah, if I at some point I'll do a tour video in the studio. Oh, I need to do a tour video in here because there's so much little things that I have in the studio. A lot more villains than heroes, but there's also a few things in here that have stories behind them, and so I will definitely be doing that at some point very soon. I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to do, because right now behind me it's a little bit organized. On my desk and everything, controlled chaos. I have stuff everywhere, just been getting ready for all this stuff we got going on. So, but yeah, so that's what we got going on here. You may have noticed too, if you've been on the YouTube channel, I just re-uploaded a Survive the Island how-to video. And the reason why I did that, because somebody pointed out in a video that we posted previously that unfortunately some of the instructions were not as accurate as they could be. And I've always said that if there's any comments, criticisms, anything like that, please let us know, and if there's something that I can correct, I will definitely do it. So when I was looking back at the video, once I saw that comment, they were right. I didn't accurately portray the rules, and and I even explained the reason why I caught that in the remake video. So as I've said, we'll always listen to any feedback or anything. That's the reason why we're doing the card graveyard, because somebody suggested, hey, why don't you do a look back on TCGs? And that's the reason why we are going to be doing, we did the redo of the Survive the Island video. And hopefully, I'm going to send that to the person that sent me the comment for the older video and go, hey, please double check this, give it a second look. Would love to get your feedback on it. I don't know about a connoisseur. Maybe just a huge fan. But yeah, well, maybe connoisseur. But there's like a lot of stuff in the studio I have. I have like one of the things I really do enjoy, and I'll show you like later on. I have a Harlequin print from Tommy Castillo. He was a mainstay at a lot of Gen Cons from years past, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. But his wife continued the studio, and they're still making some amazing artwork, and hopefully I can be able to show that off when we get to Gen Con this year. But yeah, so we have all that stuff going on, and I believe that's pretty much it. That's all the HHG behind the scenes stuff. It's hard to believe that it's been a year now since we have made the move and everything, and we've had the studio here and all, and it's just been something else to think that we have all this stuff going on. And a lot of it is because of all of everybody that watches these videos and people that watch the streams and everything, and I can't wait to see where the future goes. We're going to be doing we have some affiliate stuff going on. I'll be making some announcements on that in the next video coming up, to where we'll be able to do some affiliate stuff to get some support coming in the channel, to where if you say, for example, we have an Amazon affiliate link, which I'll include the link for that in the YouTube video. Once we're done with this recording, we'll post up on YouTube, and I'll include a link for our Amazon affiliate, to where if you make a purchase through the our Amazon affiliate link, we'll get a little bit of a kickback from it, and we'll be reinvesting that in the house Hedge Gaming. So that's a way for us to do that. We also have another some ambassador stuff going on. We have games we're working with, and we just have a lot of stuff going on, all while I have like this little one still passed out on me. So, but that's what we got going on. And now we're going to go into a little bit of a Balatro. We're going to play some of that and have a good night. So let's go on ahead and get into it. And while we're playing Balatro, if you have any questions about anything, by all means, please let me know. If you want to talk, I'll be more glad to talk. And we'll just have some fun tonight. So, alright, so let's go on ahead, and I'm going to do this here. And let's go on ahead. And if I'm correct, this should be here. And I think I need to expand this just a little bit more here. Actually, I'm just going to put me over here. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's go back here. Back here. And let us go ahead and get into some Balatro. So, if you don't know what Balatro is, it's basically a game where you are trying to create poker hands using illegal decks, because you're adding cards to it. You're doing specialty cards to where they can add extra chips, multiply your scores, everything like that. And plus you have different jokers that will help you along the way. So let's go on ahead and get started using the red deck, which gives us a +1 to our discard. So in this game, you are able to go against a small blind, a big blind, and then you have a big boss blind at the end. And each one has a different... the big bosses have like different abilities. So for example, this one, all club cards are debuffed. So I'm not going to be able to score any clubs in that one. And in the game, you can also skip some blinds too, so you can get some cool bonuses, whether it be in the shop or anything, to add cards to your deck. So let's go on ahead, and we're just going to go ahead and start with playing the small blind here. All while I'm going one-handed with a cat going on. And right off the bat, we got a straight. So like say for example, you got the straight here. You have your run info, basically gives you the cards here, which this has helped me out in my casino job. Being able to see like, okay, a pair is beaten by two pair is beaten by three of a kind, stuff like that. And it gives you how many chips that each one's worth, and then you get the multipliers on each one. And to beat the game, or each round, you have to get the score here. So for this one, it's 300. So I gotta score 300 chips within 4 hands. So with this hand here being a straight, I'll be able to score 30 chips times 4, plus what each of these will be able to give me in chips. So in this case, we'll go ahead and do all 4 here, or all 5. And go ahead and get through that small blind. Easy peasy. But there's a lot of different jokers that allow you to score, like your hearts will give you multipliers, or you'll be able to turn cards into stone, but they give you extra chips and things of that nature. So it's definitely a fun game to play, and I've had some fun playing this while I've been at the casino during breaks, but also working on House Hedge Gaming stuff. So of course I don't take many breaks while I'm there, because if I'm not working on one thing, dealing cards, I'm working on stuff for HHG. So alright, so this one, all flushes and straights, can be made with 4 cards, which is actually pretty good. But I think I want to open up a buffoon pack and see what I get. Or do I want to just go for that? I actually know what, I'm going to go for that one. I haven't really messed with that one yet. And let's go ahead and upgrade our 2 pair. And go on to the next round. And with this one, let's go ahead and skip this blind. We'll get an uncommon joker in the store for next time, and it'll be free. So let's go with the first big boss, which is the club. All clubs are debuffed, but I'm able to use my spades to make a flush 4-card hand, courtesy of that joker. So like I said, this game has definitely helped me out with working at the casino, being able to know the poker hands and stuff like that. I knew it already because of games like Doomtown and all, but I think this one definitely helped me out a whole lot more, which was pretty cool to be able to discover this and being able to do a little more online gaming than I used to. Because I do this, I've been playing a little bit of Phasmaphobia, I've been playing Marvel Snap, and of course Magic the Gathering Arena. Alright, let's go on ahead. This should be able to get us our score to get above the club here to get past this blind. Oh, you finally decided to wake up, bud? Are you going back to sleep? Yeah, you're going back to sleep. Love to keep my audiences riveted. A little runt. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and get this one for free here, since that allows me to get some stuff when passing blinds. That one I think we'll skip on for now. I think I'll just skip those two. So let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Alright, let's go ahead and level up our straight. Since we could do it with 4 cards instead of 5. This one, next base edition Joker is free and becomes holographic. Let's go ahead and skip that one too. Why not? Alright, so now we're going with the arm. Decrease level of played poker hand. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can do this. Luckily, all of our poker hands are 1, so they can't take them down to 0. So this one they can because it's at level 2, but do we want to go? Yeah, we'll do this one first. Alright, so let us... Got 3 hands to go here. 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. Let's go on ahead and do that straight. And even though it'll take it down 1 level, it's still fine. It's still like a level 3, so. And there we go. We got it through. Alright, so we're going to that one here. We're going to 3rd ante. Already getting stuff done. When I first played this game, it was really weird to do, so. Oh, and that's the one they made Primo. Oh, you bums. Alright. Yeah, I gotta go with that one, so I will not be playing face cards anytime soon, which is fine. Alright, so let's go on ahead and do an arcane pack. Turns a card to gold. Let's enhance 2 cards to be bonus cards. And we'll do 2 cards to be multis here. Alright, double your money. I don't have to worry about that one here. Alright, let's go on ahead and run it. So now let's go with runs of cards that are not going to have any face cards in there. So let's go 4, 5, 6, 7. Do our 4 cards straight. And I think these will be able to blow through them really quick, so. Actually, I think I can do... Yeah, I can do that. I do not know why I didn't do that before. And of course, I'm still messing some stuff up, but it's okay. There we go. Make it a little bit easier there. There we go. I swear, I think by like my 18th stream, I'll be able to get this stuff right. Alright. Alright, that turns a card into a steal. What you see, bud? And he's off. Oh, my arm. I left my arm there for like an hour. Yep, arm's feeling good now. Thanks, bud. Domino just went into full-on defense mode for a second, but I think he's okay. Alright. Let's go ahead and upgrade our straight as well. And get ready for the next one. So let's go with the big blind. Alright, let's go ahead and discard those face cards here. We got a flush. Alright, let's go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Didn't need to do the 5 card, but we can do it anyway. Alright, so we're flying through here a little bit. Definitely learned a lot from the past little bits I've been playing here. Alright, this one earned 5 for each discard 10. And this one 50 chips if the hand contains a pair. So I think we'll go ahead and get that joker for now. And let's see if we can add a card to our hand. And we'll add that 7. That 7 actually has a lot of stuff going for here. So, alright, and if you don't mind, I'll be drinking a little bit of coffee here. Which is now very cold because I was holding night, but it was fine. Alright, next one, the goad. All spade cards are debuffed. So now all of our spades are not going to be needed, so which is fine. So let's go on ahead and get rid of these face cards. And at least we got 2 pair here, which will actually trigger that one as well. Because it says as long as our hand contains a pair, so. Which for the longest time I was like, oh, it's just a pair, not it just has to be a pair, it just has to contain a pair. So, let's go ahead and discard these because they're not needed. And we have the missus joining us right now in the background. You see her coming through. It is very easy to fall into a TikTok hole. Alright. You actually missed it a little bit ago for about 40-some minutes. Domino was right here. And then when he finally jumped off, I went, ah. Like, my arm was completely freed. Oh, it was 100% cramped. Alright, let's see what we got here. We have the multi-joke or misprint joker, which it changes a lot.
No.
We have Domino already causing some havoc since he's now. He's a youthful bugger. Just gotta try and break him with some habits, unfortunately. Alright, we're gonna skip that blind. See what we get out of this mega pack here. Let's go ahead and upgrade our pair. And we're going to upgrade our full house. And that, we're just going ahead and play the big blind here. Alright, so 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go ahead and get that straight. Yeah, the Four Fingers Joker is definitely pretty good. I didn't realize that until actually seeing it in action. I did not realize it was going to be as good, but I'm definitely happy with it. Alright, did I get one more diamond? I did. So let's go ahead and do a flush. And that will get us on to our next hand. And again, for anybody in the chat, if you have any questions about House Hedge Gaming, I was a pro wrestler for over 10 years. That's how I met my wonderful wife back there. If you have any questions about wrestling, if you have any questions about gaming in general, by all means, let me know as we're going through the run through here of Balatro for this run. Okay, we have... Alright, this gives +2 chips for each dollar you have. Okay, so that gives incentive to just hold our money. Hey, baby. Gotta love it. As soon as I say something, the audience is right back there. She's like going like, hey. Which, by the way, if you ever want to see her do some gaming on occasion or hear her lovely voice, she does a lot of stuff with Hannie at QuokaCheeks00 here on Twitch. She definitely does some stuff with Phasmaphobia and things like that. But also, you might find her around Palia if she's wandering around, which she's playing right now. You may hear the music a little bit in the background. So, alright, so let's continue on here. Let's go on ahead. Let's get this mega pack of the Arcana and see what we get. Alright, so the Emperor creates up to 2 random tarot cards. The Wheel of Fortune, which I always lose at. It can do a 1 in 4 chance to add foil, holographic, or polychrome addition to a random joker. Star converts 3 into diamonds. This converts 3 cards into spades. And this can turn a card into a glass card. You know what? Let's create 2 tarot cards. Which are good. And you know what? Let's give it a shot. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, it finally did something. Okay, so it turned it into a multi. Alright. I will never say anything bad about that one again. Alright, let's go ahead and do the straight flush. Get that upgraded. Since we have a little thing going on here with 4 fingers, being able to do a little bit easier job. Alright, so this one, play only 1 hand. Alright, let's see what we can do with that. We got a couple things that can help us here with the Empress and with Death. Never thought I'd say that. Let's see if we can actually get a 5 of kind. Because there's a way to do it in here. So let's go ahead and discard those 5. Because now we'll convert one card into a 9. Alright, we got one more discard after this. Can I get that 9? I did, so I got the fourth 9 here. So let's go ahead and use death. And then we'll go ahead and use this to make these multis. And I think that should be able to get us where we need to, hopefully. Let's find out. Okay, yeah, we're good. Whew. And I do apologize for if that was a little bit too loud of a gulp. I do apologize on that. Alright, so here we have create a tarot card of played hand if hand is played with $4 or less. Oh, that's money there. Okay. Or I can create a joker. Let's create a random joker and see what we get. Why not? Alright, so we got popcorn joker plus 20 multi, -4 per round played. So we could probably do some skippage here and see if we can get some usage out of that popcorn. Alright, that creates 2 random tarot cards. Let's do that one again. Why not? Alright, so we got Justice, which converts one to glass. The other one converts to a wild card. Alright, so let's see what we get here. This blind. Initial cards and packs are free. Sold. No repeat hand types this round. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit harder to do. But you know what? I think we can do it. Let's run it. Alright, so we can't do any repeats. Let's go ahead and get these 2 discarded first. Alright, so let's start with 2 pair. Okay, so now we can't do 2 pair. So now we will do... we will have a cat. Hey, bud. Yes, I love you too, buddy. Back up here. Yeah, there you go. You are my co-star. Alright, so now let's play a hand. I'm going to throw that 2 in there so I can save me a discard. Alright, so we can do a flush with those. Actually, I'm going to do this here because I can turn that into a wild where I can use that for any one. Can be used for any suit. So let's do a 5-card flush. So now we have... Alright, so how many 7s we got left in the deck here? Alright, so we still got 2 sevens. There you go. Go ahead, bud. What you doing? There you go. Alright, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've already done a straight. I have not done a straight yet. Okay. When this card's played and scored. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this, and that should be able to get us to our next one here. So we'll be into ante 6. Alright, so we used up a little bit of a popcorn, but that's fine. Now we still got plus 60 multi. But we've made it past that blind. Okay, all these jokers are, all these cards are free. So let's go ahead and use that one. Go ahead and get this one here. Increase our flush. And we'll just keep increasing our flush, increase our straight since they're easier to get. As Cindy agrees in the background, she's probably just agreeing with Palea, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. That's right. Yep. Do we want that joker? Huh? Tapestry multi on final hand of round. Well, actually we get to reroll for 0 too. Let's see what we got. Let's reroll. Oh, that we might have to do instead. Alright, so the hiker. Every played card permanently gains plus 5 chips on plate. Oh, we're so doing that one. Sorry, popcorn, you gotta go. Alright, so that one doubles your money, so that'd be 18. The planet, or the plant, all face cards already buffed. Oh, I'm already got that one down pat. We're good on that one. Alright, so let's go on ahead and do that one. That double our money, do that one. Let's go on and straight to the plant. All face cards are debuffed. 40,000 is the goal. Alright, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, let's leave it that. So let's go with those first. Okay, discard discard that one. Actually, we'll discard both those threes. 5. Actually, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for another straight. Alright, what can we do here? Let's go ahead and discard a couple cards here. got another discard. Let's do those two. And finally, let's do those two. Alright, so that... Let's take out one more hand we can play after this one. Oh, that actually worked. Crap. Okay, cool. Okay, we got a lot of Arcana packs. Let's go ahead and open these up and see what we find. Do I want to try my hand at the Wheel of Fortune again? Yeah, let's try it. It freaking worked. Okay, cool. Increase strength by 1, enhances 2 for bonuses. Let's go ahead and do this and enhance those 9s for bonus ones here. Alright, let's go ahead and skip these. Play only one hand type this round. Alright, we can do this. Alright, we have a spectral pack here. So let's see what these do. Create 2 copies of one selected card in your hand. I'll be happy to get 2 aces on that. And let's do this again. Alright, do we want to go with that one? Grim or creates a rare joker, sets mine to 0. Let's go with this one here. Hopefully gets rid of one of the face cards. Perfect. Alright, so we got 2 aces that are glass. Alright, play only one hand type this round. Alright, so what's going to be the best hand type that we could use? Probably a straight. If we can do straights, we're good. So let's go ahead and do that. So we got 7, 8, 9, 10. Straights it is. Alright, so since we can only do straights, I'm going to discard those. Oh, this might be a little bit harder than I thought it would be. Shoot. Let's go 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, if we can do one more straight, I think we're good. Alright, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that should help take us over the top. Maybe. No, 50 good, it did. Alright, so now we're going into the last ante. See, now that one I always love playing Smiley Face because let the face cards get +5 multi when scored. But we're not playing face cards, so we're just going to let that be. Let's open up a couple of Arcana packs here. Select 2 cards, convert 1 left to the right. Let's go ahead and do that here. And we'll do one more. Let's enhance 2 here. All cards debuffed until 1 Joker is sold. Wow, that's a bunch of garbage. Alright. So that's going to be interesting. Alright. Alright, let's see what we can do. So let's go on ahead. I like the Joker team we got going on right now, so let's just go ahead and play the small blind. These here. I think 2 pairs should be good for this. If you hear a little stampeding right now, it's because Domino found one of his toys. 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go for another straight. Alright, let's open up this Arcana pack here. Turns 3 cards of clubs, 1 to steal, enhance 2 for bonuses. Alright, Celestial pack. Upgrade a flush. All right. Here we go with the big blind. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go ahead and get that straight. Okay, get rid of those face cards. We don't need those. Again, do not need the face cards. Get them out of here. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this will be the last discard to get rid of those face cards. Get rid of that 3. I'm thinking this should be enough. We still got one more hand, so yeah, we should be good. Just enough. All right. All right, so now I got to figure out what we're going to do here. So you don't see this, but so Cindy recently started going back to the gym, and so have I. And plus, with her job as working at Copper Bar as part of the kitchen staff, and she's going up and down steps all day, her legs are definitely feeling it. I did the gym today with a little bit of some biking, but also some weightlifting and everything. I'm definitely feeling it. Not as much as she is, but I'll probably feeling it really bad in the morning. So, alright, so here, I think I know which Joker I'm going to sell in the next round, but let's see what we got here. Really? These are the Jokers you offer me? You son of a gun. We're going to skip those. As you can tell, she's starting to set up shop. She always loves doing candles while she's gaming, and she's got her cute, adorable. She's gonna watch anime while gaming, and I'll probably be over at that table in a little bit myself after this stream to start working on some stuff for the schedule that I talked about earlier in the stream. So, which by the way, if you're catching this now, you can always rewatch this on our YouTube channel at House Hedge Gaming and be able to see all that information, including the news we went over, but also the schedule we got coming up for the next few months. Alright, so this, I'm going to turn a couple cards to multis. Let's go ahead and do that for the aces. And let's go ahead and switch that to a wild. Then I think let's go on ahead and take out. I think we'll end up selling that one. I'm going to use this one to get us through that last round. Alright. So we need 100,000 chips, all cards debuffed until one Joker sold. So let's go on ahead and do it. I think I know the culprit we're going to be selling. Alright, so that debuffed that one there, so let's go on ahead and start the climb. Oh wait, that would use the diamond. I did not realize that. Alright, yeah, let's do a flush. Oh, That's a multi, not a wild. Okay, that's my fault. My bad. Alright. Alright, so let's discard those two. Alright, let's do a full house. Okay, so we have 2 more discards, 2 more hands to go. This might be cutting it close. And I think because of my mess up is what's going to cause me to lose this game. Which I wouldn't doubt that none. But you know what? I'm still learning the game. And if I end up losing, it's perfectly fine. It was a fun time getting here. Can I do a 40,000 point hand? Can I draw a 7? I did. 8, 9, 10. Alright, our last ditch effort. Let's see. No. So I was defeated last round. Verdant Leaf. That's okay. Alright, well, there we go. There's always another run. But you know what? This is a whole lot of fun to play, and I'm glad I was able to discover this game. It is a lot of fun to do. So if you're into deck building, if you're into poker, if you're into deck manipulation, everything like that, it's a really good game. There's a 1.1 version getting ready to come out and update. I'm really interested in see what's going to be happening with that soon. But with 150 different jokers to choose from and discover, plus all the different blinds and everything, it's definitely a good way to spend some time on the computer, and I'm glad to be able to do it on here. So let me actually get out of this here and expand right there. And cover up that little bit of red. There we go. Alright, so that's been the stream for this week. Covering news and notes, a little bit behind the scenes, a little bit of Balatro, and hopefully a bit of entertainment for you. I want to thank you for joining the stream, and if you're watching this on YouTube, I want to thank you for watching on YouTube. Be on the lookout for a lot of great stuff getting ready to happen here at HHG. Next week, we're going to be doing this most likely on YouTube Live. Keep on the lookout on our socials for that, on our Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. And we're starting to expand into other things as well as we continue to grow and see what we can do here at HHG. But thank you all so much for watching this stream. And until next time, everyone, stay safe and take care, my friends.